Welcome back into LX News, everybody. I'm Ashley Holt. It is one of the top 10 leading causes of death, and yet there's no cure for it. Alzheimer's disease is a brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest of tasks. A national survey by the Alzheimer's Association found 82% of Americans are unfamiliar with the condition or know very little about it. And more than half thought the symptoms sounded like normal aging. Generally, the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease are divided into three main stages. In the early stages, the main symptoms of Alzheimer's disease are memory lapses. Someone may forget about recent conversations or events, misplace items, or ask questions repetitively. As Alzheimer's disease develops, memory problems will get worse. That includes problems with speech or language, disturbed sleep, and changes in mood. And in the later stages of Alzheimer's disease, the symptoms become more severe and can be distressing for the person with the condition. Hallucinations and delusions may come and go, but can get worse as the condition progresses. A new documentary entitled "Have You Heard About Greg? A Journey Through Alzheimer's Through Faith, Hope, and Humor" is hoping to educate others about the disease. Investigative reporter, best-selling author, and public speaker Greg O'Brien takes us into his world, where he has survived cancer and now is battling with Alzheimer's. He was diagnosed with early onset at the age of 59. This disease has resulted in the loss of some of Greg's family members. And now he's on a mission to bring awareness to the cause and help others talk more openly about it.
This is a quiet thief in the night that relentlessly robs from the patient the sense of identity, personality, and ultimately the very essence of self.
It's like having a sliver of your brain shaved every day. It took out family members. Now Alzheimer's has come for me.
Joining us now is Greg O'Brien himself. Greg, I wonder, I understand this documentary, it was inspired by your book. The book came first. It was called On Pluto, Inside the Mind of Alzheimer's. I just wonder if your perspective and knowledge of the disease has changed in that in-between time from the release of your book now to the documentary. Is it the same? Is it different?
Well, it's an honor to be here. The book itself, On Pluto, was inspired by my late mother, Virginia, who died of Alzheimer's. My father also died of dementia. My maternal grandfather died of Alzheimer's, and my paternal uncle died of Alzheimer's. And my mother was the inspiration for the book because I was a caregiver for my mom and dad, and now I find myself a patient. And I hate to use the word patient, but someone in the throes of this demon. Right. And it changed me in ways is that Alzheimer's, every day the disease is different. And it's a disease, despite the inaccurate stereotypes, that can take 20 to 25 years to run its course.
You're talking about your journey. How did you pick and choose which parts of it to share or not share? Does it feel like a journal entry, or did you try to be intentional, or was there a method to the madness here in what you shared and how?
Well, the method is when I got my diagnosis, I wrote down everything, all anecdotes, all family members, all family information, all research on it, because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to access it or forget. And so I ended up with about close to 2,000 pages of notes. And my laptop, of which I'm on the interview now, has become my portable brain. And from that, I wrote On Pluto. And it took a couple years to write. And again, it was inspired by my mother, but also I have a strong faith. And I believe it was the guidance of the Lord or the universe, whatever you want to talk about it. This was a story that needed to be told. So I feel that I don't deserve any credit. I'm just, as a journalist, trying to give voice to a horrific monster of a disease.
Yeah. And I wonder, a commonality between your book and your documentary is this message of living with Alzheimer's, not dying with Alzheimer's. How has that message impacted you? I mean, this disease you talked about has impacted your entire family. So what does that message mean to you?
Well, the great Bugs Bunny once said, and it's a paraphrase from someone else, don't take life too seriously because nobody gets out alive. And we're all going to die. We're dying from the day we were born. And again, what I'm trying to do is to give people the background that they may extend their research on this disease so they know more how to live in faith, hope, and humor. And that's the purpose of the documentary, as well as my book on Pluto, is about living with Alzheimer's in faith, hope, and humor. As I said, it's a 20 to 25-year journey. The experts will tell you that, exceptions all the time. So life doesn't end with a diagnosis, and I think that's the message of Pluto. But you have to fight. Lying down and wrestling is a position of defeat, and you have to get up and you have to fight. Yeah. Otherwise, the disease will take you over.
Well, Greg, I know that your story has inspired so many people, and I'm excited to see how many more people will be inspired by it. So thank you for coming here and sharing a piece of it with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, Greg's documentary, Have You Heard About Greg? A Journey Through Alzheimer's, Through Faith, Hope, and Humor. It hits theaters nationwide this May. We'll be right back.